This is one of the strongest deadlifters in the world, JAMAL BROWNER. I've seen him doing, I've seen on Instagram doing 500 kilo deadlift with straps. And because this video goes to the Polish public know that Mr. Deadlift Krzysztof Wierzbicki, that's how we pronounce it, did 500 2.5. However, it was like a short story, boom, and then he disappeared.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to him. That was
I
crazy.
know what happened, but it was
What happened?
well, I can't tell you right now on the video. So who knows, they know what happened later to him, but he's apparently back. Anyway, so your plan is probably beat him now with more than this, isn't it?
Not really. That was never my goal. Usually after a competition, I usually do some type of YOLO deadlift. Where
YOLO deadlift.
I call it
you
YOLO
only
deadlift.
lift once.
Yeah.
You only lift once deadlift. That's Polish.
I do it at the competition because usually you're still peaked for another week or so.
Yeah.
So try to get one last heavy session.
It's better attitude than I'll beat this guy.
Yeah, nah, I'm not worried about it.
Whenever I went to competition, I fucking beat him. I got injured.
I mean,
It's too much aggression.
If anything, it pushed me. Okay, like I've seen him do it now. I can like visualize someone doing it.
It opens your eyes and broadens your horizons and saying, oh, he can do it. Well, let's have a go.
Like, I mean, there's really no race. Cause, I mean, my goal is to stay injury free and healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So if you did 500 2.5, if I did 500, I have potential at that weight. 5 kg isn't that much of a difference. So
maybe it's not a full deadlift, but I did a block pull 500 once, and I thought I'll never do this exercise again. 500, yeah. And then 18 months later, I wasn't doing deadlifts at all for 3 months. I was only focused on squats. I did 275 front squat. I did 325 without wraps, with wraps 365, whatever. And then one day I did my legs in the morning, but then I had 3 clients. So like 4 hours later, I'm leaving the gym, going home. Oh, somebody left 170 on the blocks. And I approached that bar and deadlifted from the blocks 520. So sometimes, you don't have to, 18 months later, with 3 months no deadlifts, how these things happen, yeah? And how does it happen for you now? You just like come to the gym and like suddenly boom.
I mean, usually my YOLO deadlift are off on a whim. Like I didn't train for the 500 kg. Like,
I did just like on this particular exercise, block pull, from like silver dollar.
Yeah.
Well, it just happens, yeah. But from the floor, I've got some mental blocks or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I trained hard for like 12, 15 weeks for my powerlifting competition, which I had 5 days prior. And I've been doing YOLO deadlifts after a competition for like the last 3 to 4 years. So it's one of those things where my following, my social media platforms, they look forward to my YOLO deadlifts after competition.
Oh yeah.
Because that's the only time they actually see me go like all out for something.
And you do it how long after comp?
Usually like 4 to 5, 6 days maybe.
Oh my god, 4 to 5, 6 days after competition,
So, like,
I'm still in shock.
So like at my last competition, I had my best competition ever. I didn't even know if I thought I
And 5 days later, you're able to go for YOLO.
Yeah, I thought I had
With
exhausted and left. Yeah, I thought I had exhausted and left everything on the platform. Going into that session that day, I had zero clue that way it was going to move that way. If I would show you my last warm up, you're like, yeah, there's no way I get that. But we had my friends involved around me. The energy was good in the gym.
Oh yeah, that's very important.
So it's like, I mean, I'll take a gander at it and try. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, then it's never gonna get posted. So I end up.
That's how I opened my YouTube channel. I just thought, oh, I'm afraid of that weight. Okay, I'm recording that and it will be going online. If I fail, everybody will see me failing. And I never fail when it's recorded.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where I was like, my last warm up moved like shit. So I'm gonna try 500 kg. If it's there, then it's a win-win in my book. If it's not, it's not a loss because I just had my best competition ever 5 days ago. So I'm like, I just had competed and I dominated.
What do you think inside your head during that deadlift? Because I remember from my experience, I would be afraid of deadlift 500. But from the blocks, when I started pulling, I just realized I just thinking about bending the bar. I'm just bending the bar. I'm just bending the bar.
Yeah.
And whatever weight was on the bar, I'm still bending the same bar. So in my head, it was no difference. I didn't get intimidated by that 5 at the beginning or 470 or something. Just thinking, bend the bar, bend the fucking bar.
Yeah, my thing
and
is,
then it goes, yeah?
Yeah,
Maybe
my
some
goal
Malik
is
trick like this.
if it moves,
If it moves,
keep pulling.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't come off the ground, just let it go. Don't
But if
really-
it's a bendy bar, don't you feel like it's moving already? It like gives you that illusion at least.
Yes and no.
Yes and no. You feel that moment of leaving.
You feel that moment of leaving. Usually I can pull, and I know when I'm stuck to the ground, and I know my body when it's like, okay, it's time to give up on it. Like there's no point of grinding this out, especially in training.
Do you have to find yourself very aggressive to leave the floor? I mean, for the bar to leave the floor.
Yeah. I have to just attack it first and foremost. If I give my all and it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah. So it's
Just
like an aggressive start and then just carry on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sometimes like at that certain level, I'll do an aggressive start, and if I feel like it's just too heavy, I'll just won't even try, because I mean, there's no point in injuring yourself in training.
Yeah. I found a lot of people in Poland, especially, there's like a school of being overly correct. Yeah. Like apparently Japanese people don't speak English because they don't want to make a mistake, so they don't speak it. Yeah, it's the same in Poland. This mentality like, oh, if I make anything wrong, yeah, oh, I better don't touch it. Yeah, and how far would you be willing to go with compromising the
Integrity,
textbook technique? Textbook technique is not actually what it really should be, because when somebody's watching you, they'll be saying, oh, he's probably wrangling his back, right?
I mean, there's a time and place for it. I mean, after my competition, usually I don't have anything scheduled for the next 5 to 6 months. So if I do hurt myself, I have time to get healthy again.
That's a good
But
one.
if I'm like a month out from a competition, I wouldn't take that risk, because it's like it's one of those things where you're gonna practice.
Yeah, you don't want to prep
you're
and
gonna
destroy.
training something now. You just wasted all this time prepping for this competition.
So what
and
you
can't
see on
compete.
these big videos is probably not what is normally in training.
No,
That form. Yeah.
A lot of people like.
I don't believe your form is bad anyway. Just because if it's thoracic spine, it's designed to look like this.
Yeah.
If it's
upper
lumbar
back-
spine was going there, I don't know.
Yeah, it's usually my upper back is I try to be as relaxed as I can upper back wise, so that way my arms as long as possible.
As long as possible. Exactly. That's why I'm trying to teach in my lectures, because there's a lot of popular popular thought is that you have to squeeze your shoulder blades, depress and retract your shoulder blades. Every exercise, depress and retract. I think if people had this really that necessity to do it, would be like birds. You know, the shoulder blades would be grown together, and we would be able to move the shoulder blades. I always say, reach the bar with a long hand, and then
relax. I teach squeeze pinkies into your body.
Yeah, that's
so
how
that
you
just
make the
like
shoulder
you're
blade
relaxed and keeps everything tight right there. Your upper back is the only thing you can kind of let flex, because it's meant to do that. Your traps are meant to rounds. That's what your rhomboids do.
Yeah.
But when it comes to locking it out, once you squeeze your fingers into your body and lock your lats in, if you stand up tall, all this would be relaxed, and your back would be in a good position. It's not like my back is like hunched over, so my chest is through.
People are usually who are slouching, they can't lock out anymore.
Yeah, I feel like rounded back is just lower back and like mid back. When you're like this forward, like I never get to that point. Using my upper back is just really relaxed, and I have big traps, so it's like it looks the illusion of a rounded back, but it's just my
use them. Use them if you have.
Yeah, it's just that's just my neutral position. I can if my upper back is like rounded, then how can I push my chest through with a rounded back in my normal position? Rounded, if my upper back is rounded, that means my chest is caved in, but my chest is never caved in.
Yeah.
So there's a difference. A lot of people don't really know the difference between rounded back and just a neutral back. Your neutral position is very, very so.
For more technical tips, subscribe to Jamal Browner's channel, Jamal Browner. You can see it in the description of the video. Today they came with half turbo and I've seen Jamal was actually teaching Haftor.
There's a little biomechanic stuff that help him out. He has a lot of strongman things that he probably picked up over the years that made it easier with his suit and everything. But since like as a raw lifter,
I think for strongman he's quite doing more powerlifting side than strongman side, because they don't tend to have this hitching.
Yeah. But even then, there's just some techniques where it's like just getting his body more involved in this lift by like just moving the bar away from him just a little bit, just to create another.
I've seen from a side where he's locking, he's got a little bit of soft knees, for example, that can red light him in a proper powerlifting.
And like he leaves his hips soft at lockout, like he's continuing to power through and standing up tall. Like he relaxes just a little bit, and that's why I was telling. Keep pushing. If you continue pushing your hips through, your body's gonna go where it needs to go. Usually, when you're a strongman, you just have to get to a point and you put it back down, because usually they give you the down to
that. I was watching them recording this video. This video will be on both YouTube channels of Jamal's and Haftor's. However, the two different cameramen, two different angles. I recommend you both watch of them. Jamal is explaining a lot of things very patiently and in a great way, I would say. Now depends how much cameraman can get into the right angle to see what he's explaining. But I was really impressed with your knowledge, and it looks so good that you just have to check his video, subscribe to his channel.
Thank you.
Because you'll have more ongoing knowledge. If you don't know enough English, just watch. Just watch.
Yeah, I try to make everything really simple. Some people try to over-explain things and make things like simple concepts really difficult.
I'm trying the same, because I used to complicate things, but
trying to make it really simple. Just looking at the body, making sure it looks beautiful, but also just little nuances along the way, just to get your body like biomechanical, like advantage positions. Because I have a degree in that stuff, so it's like just learning to use your body properly.
Yeah. One more question: how often would you recommend for an average person to do deadlift? How often?
I say 2 times a week.
2 times a week for the average person.
Usually it's a necessary day where it's complementing your main day. If you do sumo priority, either on that secondary day do some type of pause work or tempo work or conventional. You can do a block pull maybe, but I like to practice the full range of motion from the floor, because there's like when you break up the lift, like doing a 500 kg off a block, then doing 500 kg off the ground is
for example, I'm very strong from above the knees, but just from below the knees the weakest.
So I like my favorite,
but some ranges are actually more difficult. Tom Martin, who was also working in this gym, you know which one? Tom Martin?
Tom Martin?
Yeah. He's sick today.
He trains the this gym? That's crazy.
Yeah, it's exactly here.
Now that I think about it, yes.
The biggest I've seen him doing was 425 kilo with straps, classic. But he also did 420 sumo. It was like a semi-sumo, it was hamstring driven. He's very hamstring dominant. He's got very long legs, a short torso, long hands as well. Yeah, and Tom basically is teaching the same as you with the how far the bar should be from the toes. Yeah, it's very similar what you were saying about the hook grip and etc. So I would say great minds think alike. But Tom, unfortunately, Tom doesn't record YouTube channel. He's too lazy.
Yeah, he's always though. He's
just
30
presenting videos, and that's it. And he's teaching clients only in private. But yeah, this is where he works. And I can see more and more people are doing similar things when they do it great. Somebody will say that, oh, you make it weird, but I think it's like at least in Polish mentality, this retracted shoulders will make the hands so short. It's like T-Rex was trying to deadlift.
I feel like we all do the same thing, but we all think about it differently.
Yeah, Tom is also doing these long hands. I teach the same, but there's some voices going, no, this is. I'm saying to people, don't think like a physio.
It's art, you know what I'm saying? we all think the same way. We're all trying to make it look as beautiful as possible. You know, we know our bodies and we know how to make other people move better, but we may explain it in different like manners. But the same, we all have the same goal. So
it was very nice to see you here. If you want to ever come back, you're welcome.
I'll probably be back.
And you remember, go down to the Jamal's Browner channel, subscribe, and watch everything.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thank you very much.
No problem.